Fire, carbon monoxide poisoning, heart attacks. So many dangers we all face every day, but most of us prefer not to think about them. The truth is, it is time now to be prepared. Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Ritter, and welcome to Operation 7 Save a Life. We are here at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell Medical Center, and over the next half hour, we're going to share with you some vital information about what to do in an emergency, because how you respond at these critical times could save a life. No one thinks it's going to happen to them, but every 20 seconds somewhere in this country, a fire breaks out. Survival is a simple formula. Get as much warning as possible and be prepared to act, not react.
It's a matter of seconds. How fast you discover the fire, how fast the fire engines get there, and how fast you can get out. Most people never experience fire, and when they do, it's the first time, so they don't know what to do.
Fire, call 911.
These employees of the New Yorker Hotel in Midtown Manhattan are being trained by the New York Fire Safety Institute in the proper use of a fire extinguisher. Thanks to a new interactive laser tool, they quickly understand it's not as easy as it looks.
Somebody call 911, fire.
Pull the pin, it's continually growing. You're about 6 feet away, roughly. You're bent forward. You have to realize that the heat would be getting you and keeping you back. You're about the right distance, but what's going on? Keep going. Use the extinguisher. Let's go. Why is it not going out? Let's go. People are burning. Okay, the extinguisher is out. The chemical reaction in a fire, in every fire, is taking place at the base. People have a tendency to aim it at the flame. The flames could be 10 feet high.
Even a skeptic like instructor and former firefighter Tom O'Brien was impressed.
I thought it was very theatrical, and I really didn't know. I didn't think it was worth the investment.
Fire, call 911. Everybody get out. You want to stand back 6 feet. You want to sweep the fire. And the fire is extinguished. All it was technique.
I was amazed at the feedback that the people that we trained, that it had on them. Every one of them in their career has had fire training through a video or whatnot. And when they had this hands-on training, they themselves were blown away because they actually couldn't do the technique properly. Even though they watched videos for years about how to put a fire, they couldn't do it. And this proves that you can't do it. But I think 99% of the people who get one lesson in this can then do it. This is an actual controller, and based on the student and how good they are, you can actually give them a little higher difficulty, greater difficulty, at 2 upwards of level 4. We can convert a B to a grease fire, and then we can also do C for electrical fire. This particular extinguisher, in real life, actually, we saw it was extinguished in under 40 seconds. And that's about the real life situation. If it's fully deployed, fully utilized in one shot, it will get the fire out if the technique is done properly.
The instructors, all former FDNY members, train fire safety directors for high-rise residences, corporations, and hotels.
What's your goal now? Get other people out. Get people off the hallways. Knock on other doorways. Don't go in here. This is done.
Fire safety director is a person that's trained in an approved school, like the New York Fire Safety Institute, and then they are responsible until the arrival of the fire department in the building. They're responsible to evacuate and safely evacuate the people in the area affected by the fire.
You can have separate switches on a floor-by-floor basis to evacuate a floor if you wanted to, or drill a floor if you wanted to.
Hotels are required to have a fire safety director on site 24/7. And at the New Yorker, it's not just the director who receives the training.
Because of the nature of New York in general, post 9/11, everyone has a sensitivity about safety. So we have a very aggressive training program for all our employees. So they also are part of the process of protecting the guests, not just protecting themselves, but nothing's better than hands-on. A manual is something they use to hold down other manuals. So, actual hands-on training really makes a difference.
Push the shock button. Shock delivered. Begin 5 cycles of CPR.
There is nothing like properly trained professionals taking charge in a crisis, but there's so much we can all do to protect ourselves, especially when it comes to carbon monoxide poisoning. The Lo Maestro family from Long Island found out the hard way, with all 5 members requiring treatment in a hyperbaric chamber.
I heard my wife with the girls. It's not unusual when you have kids that one of them's sick in the middle of the night, you know. So I had to get up at 6, so I'm saying to myself, okay, she's handling it, you know. And then the other one got up. And then when my son got up, I said, something's not right. And I went upstairs, and I didn't feel right. My wife told me she didn't feel right. And then my son proceeded to, like, almost pass out. So right away, I told my wife, call 911, and they said, you know, it's probably carbon monoxide. Get out of the house.
It's called the silent killer, and for good reason. You can't see it, you can't smell it, and the symptoms are flu-like. A carbon monoxide detector could save your life if, and this is a big if, you use it properly.
Well, a while back, my wife had unplugged it, and there was no test on it. It went on the shelf right there next to it, and we never went and got another one. And the fire department, the funny part is the fire marshal told me, when he plugged it in the wall, it went crazy. So it was operating. It's like anything else. You think you're always prepared, and you think you're smart, and like everybody else, we wait until something happens.
Hopefully you will not learn the same lesson. By the way, here's another great safety tip. Next time you check into a hotel for that well-deserved vacation, don't take a break from safety. As soon as you get to your room, go into the hallway. Count the number of doors until a stairwell. 30 seconds of prevention could be the most important thing you'll ever do. Now, if you go to our website, 7online.com, after this show, you can see exactly what steps to take. When we come back, new treatment for heart attack victims, and a little later, help for Alzheimer caregivers.
Tonight's presentation of ABC 7 Special Operation 7 Save a Life is brought to you by New York Presbyterian Hospital, Toyota, Best Buy, and Kidda.